Oh, hey, Facebook. Oh, hey, YouTube. All right, let me see. What is up with this contrast? Okay. Hi. Your girl Elizabeth here. Welcome to today's live. I'm doing something for the first time. I'm going live on my YouTube channel and on my Facebook channel. So it's going to be a little interesting. So I hope this finds you well wherever you are. And today's session is going to be about something that is near and dear to my heart. And it's something that used to scare me immensely. And that is, I want to talk about your feelings, your emotions. And let me know if you're watching live or in the replay. When you just conjure up the word feelings, what what gets evoked within you, if anything, and just let me know in the comments. And so let me just plant the seed. And this caveat is that I am not a psychologist. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a psychiatrist. And this is not meant to be um, seen as any kind of medical advice, any mental health advice. It is my lived experience for myself, and also working with hundreds and thousands of patients in my career as a registered nurse. And so, in my own experience, I used to literally want to run and hide, okay, from big, strong, scary emotions, the ones that didn't feel so good, right? So I don't know, fear, anxiety, frustration. I would feel them coming up in my body. Maybe it was like a sensation in my gut, or a stirring in my heart or something, or maybe it was like tension in my neck. I would become aware that something was off. That's the only way I can describe it. And so instead of being with that, I would push the feeling down because it was too scary, because I didn't know what might happen if I allowed myself that experience. So this is an invitation for you to come from a place of curiosity and playfulness, because in my experience, your feelings, your emotions are nothing more than energy and motion. And ironically enough, a raw emotion only lasts from 9 to 60 seconds. And so the reason most of us want to run or as far away as possible from feelings, or hide or deny or stuff or whatever, we don't want to feel the discomfort of the feelings, is because it's often attached to or associated with a memory of something. So, when you have a memory, when you recall in your mind something that happened in the past, it is often affiliated or associated with a certain emotion, maybe fear or anxiety or panic or whatever it is. So instead of allowing yourself to feel the emotion that lasts only a few seconds, you feel the whole entire experience and everything that it meant and all of that. And so it's like you're reliving the past. And I love Joe Dispenza's work about this. So he is a great teacher and reference for learning how to look at all of this, your feelings, your emotions. And so the place that I'm coming from is a place of um, curiosity, imagination, and creativity, because we all have a practiced way of being in the world. We have a practiced way that we relate to our emotions, whether we are open and curious, or we are afraid and we want to hide and we want to run. We have this practice way of being. And I'm just here to shine a light on, there is a cool way to be with a feeling. So, just a couple of offerings or things to consider around this whole big thing about emotions and feelings is that um, you literally have these things, you're genetically come with this ability to feel emotion, and it's a built-in safety mechanism. And so my lens is through the lens of what I would call spirituality, where anytime you're feeling in a certain way that feels uncomfortable or just like uneasy, it can only be for one reason. It's because you're cutting yourself off from your eternalness, your divine nature, the whole of who you are. And so this I picked up from one of my favorite teachers, Abraham, and that is my truth. That is what I believe to be true. And so again, when you feel an emotion that doesn't please you, all it is source, universe, your higher self, your soul tapping you on the shoulder saying, "Hey, hey." Like something is either happening in your environment, you are thinking about something, you are doing something, you are not doing something that is not in alignment with who you be, because you at your core you're just like pure love, you're just pure awesome. And so you can start to ask yourself, another one of my favorite teachers, Brene Brown, she wrote The Atlas of the Heart, The Gifts of Imperfection, Dare to Lead, so many amazing books on, and her research is all about this really icky feeling of shame, of which I have a lot of experience with. And in her book, Atlas of the Heart, I can't remember the exact number. There are I'm pretty certain it was over 200. The human has the capacity to experience over 200 different emotions. However, people report only experiencing about 4 different emotions on a regular basis. Well, that's so limited and so limiting. And so when we can afford ourselves the opportunity to go there to feel the feelings, things become much richer because everything has an opposite. You cannot have the dark without the light, right? You cannot have the pleasure without the pain. And so when we can get to this place of knowing that, and knowing that we don't have to be afraid of our emotions, and if we can, as long as it's safe, as long as it's safe, we can go there and we can ask ourselves when we notice we're feeling a real strong emotion, we can ask a couple questions like, all from a place of love and compassion, always coming from a place of a gentle observer, always coming from a place of I wonder, and not judging or blaming or shaming or any of that. It's literally like, I wonder. So you can ask yourself, maybe you want to grab a journal. I wonder what this emotion is trying to tell me. I wonder what this emotion is trying to teach me. Is it okay for me? Is it safe for me to allow myself to feel this emotion? Number one, is it safe? And can I let it be expressed in whatever way it needs to be expressed, right? Maybe let's say you feel angry and you can ask yourself, is it okay for me to feel angry? Is it okay for me to, and the next question could be, what is a good way for me to be able to um, express this anger in a way that's safe? Everything is about safety. So maybe it's like screaming at the top of your lungs. Maybe it's a dance party. Maybe I know of one woman who she regularly likes to break ceramic plates because it feels good to release the tension in a physical way and to release the anger that way. We have so much repressed anger. Ugh. So again, these are all bubbling up to the surface for you to be with them. And so Couple of questions you can ask yourself. What is this here to teach me? Is it okay for me to just sit with this? Like, in meditation, the goal is not to have no thoughts. The goal is to befriend your thoughts and not to have to analyze, judge, or attach meaning to them, right? The goal of meditation is to sit with the thoughts that your mind is designed to think, billions of them in your lifetime. And so when we can always come to this place of understanding and knowing and witnessing, everything becomes easier, right? And nothing, this is my lived experience, nothing in our lives is by accident. Nothing in our lives is by coincidence. Everything is part of the bigger tapestry of who you are and what you came here to master, to learn, to transcend, to release. And so it's so much easier and more fun when you come from the place of curiosity, from compassion, rather than blame, shame, judgment, guilt. Um, and so, again, this is simply an invitation. So, I would love to pull a card from both of my decks, the Divine AF deck and then also the Divine Downloads, just about like what would be helpful. I'm just gonna clear my cards. I already cleared them once, but rattles and sound vibration are a wonderful way to clear things. So if you want to clear your space, you could use a rattle, a tambourine, you could clap. It's a wonderful way to clear the energy. So let's see what maybe an invitation about how you might be more open or inclined to sit with the feelings, especially the ones that you tend to want to avoid or ignore. Because here's the truth, Ruthie. Anything that you resist will persist. That emotion that you hate the most. I have an example of I'll call it emotion. Maybe it's not an emotion. I don't know. However, this feeling of boredom. So many humans despise being bored, and I think it is awesome because being bored is an invitation to be still. And in stillness, that's when all the magic comes in. Oh, we got the magnificent card. So here you go, Facebook. Here you go, YouTube. So again, the question was, what is some wisdom or some comfort that we can take when we consider being with these feelings that we would rather just like we'd rather throw up in our mouth and just like act as if they don't exist. It is magnificent. I love this. Take a moment and embrace yourself. You are magnificent indeed. Can you do a little dance? Can you sing a little ditty? Did you know that you could have this much fun with yourself? Here's the thing. Maybe you're not in the mood, or maybe you don't feel like doing a ditty or doing a little dance. The whole purpose in life is to honor and nurture and be okay with whatever is showing up. So you can borrow this from me. If it doesn't feel accessible in this moment, is that again, everything is the only permanence we have is our impermanence. So even though maybe you feel heavy and you feel disappointed and you feel angry, whatever it is, like, can you acknowledge and honor that? Because that's huge. That's awesome to be able to acknowledge that because, again, so many humans are like in total denial that you are more than this physical vessel. And as Brene Brown teaches, you have like over 200 possible ways that you could possibly feel or emote. And so, can you acknowledge the both and? Can you acknowledge both that right now you feel completely overwhelmed and also hold space for the possibility that maybe in a few hours or maybe in a few days you might actually feel like doing a little ditty or singing or dancing or screaming in ecstatic joy? Like, can you hold space for that. And the only way that you can arrive at this place is through practice. One of the most powerful books I ever read was by Lester Levinson, and he talks all about this, being able to ask yourself, is it okay for me to be with this? Is it okay for me to sit with this? And again, always safety first, always safety first. I believe that you have the capacity to acknowledge and witness and feel all the feelings that you have. And of course, in the description, I put a link to NAMI, National Association of Mental Illness. It's a wonderful organization that has truckloads of resources for anything related to mental health, mental illness, and yeah, an incredible resource. So you know yourself best, and if you need a therapist, if you need a psychologist, a psychiatrist, trust yourself. Trust yourself to honor what it is that you need to help you be with what's coming up, because it is sovereign AF and it is coming up for a very specific reason so that you can become who you are, more of who you are. And I promise you, it's not to be closed off. It is not to be like hiding in shame and fear. It is not to be a victim. None of that is who you are at your core. And so if this is coming across your feed, it is clearly on purpose. And if I can come to this place, ooh, I'm just clearing this other card deck, then you can too, because it is how we're designed. It's how we're designed. And sure, is it scary? Of course it is. However, is it worth it? Hell yeah, absolutely. Um, Yeah, we wouldn't have been designed to experience over 200 different emotions if it weren't also efficacious for us to be able to tap into that resource. Okay, so this is the Divine Downloads. This was my first card deck I ever did, and it's just it's lovely. I'm slightly biased. I own that. Just these are just simple truths that have helped me become more of who I am. Forgot to put it on Do Not Disturb. Pardon me. Okay, I'm not perfect. Nobody is. Oh, the contribution card. Okay, I know this is backwards. Okay, here's an affirmation, some wisdom, and something to marinate on when we close this broadcast. The word is contribution, and the affirmation is, I honor my gifts as I share them with the world. You were bestowed gifts in order to share them with the world. Withholding them is a disservice to you and the universe. So, the question, beloved, is this: how can you offer more of your gifts, more of your emotions, more of your feelings with the world? And here's the other question. We'll close with this. Who needs your gifts the most right now? Who needs your gifts the most? And I would be willing to put $1 million on the fact that the person, the human that needs your gifts the most is yourself. So I trust that this leaves you with some hope, some pearl of wisdom, something that will support you on your journey. And you have everything within you in this juncture, in this moment, to support the most divine, bodacious, badass experience as a human on the planet. And so in the description, I have all kind of tools that I have created that can support you on the journey. 2 different journals, 2 different card decks. I have a free training, the 5-minute manifester, because my mission is to help professional women who are exhausted from overgiving, overgiving, reclaim your time, your energy, and most importantly, your joy. so that you can attract the most bodacious, fun, and nourishing relationships, both in your personal and your professional lives, because that's what you deserve. All right. I'm sending you so much love. Make sure that you subscribe to my channels so that you can join me every Sunday live at 1:11 Central Time. And I'm sending you so much love. And let me know in the comments how this lands for you. Okay. Peace out. Peace out.